Ms. Bowley-Jack, you and your mother recently appeared in court to help resolve a paternity dispute for your sister. This motivated you to get the answers you've desperately been searching for 3 decades. Your mother has always told you the defendant, Mr. Smith, is your biological father, and you hope today's results prove she's right. Mr. Smith, you say it's admirable that Ms. Bowley-Jack believes her mother, but you say you knew the life Miss Common was living and are absolutely sure you are not the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Bowley-Jack, I'll start with you. Tell the court what life has been like for the past 30 years.
The past 30 years, I've had a number of emotions: anger, hurt, resentment, not knowing who my father was, growing up with other kids with their fathers, and me not having a father. And even into adulthood, my children question who their grandfather is, and I can't give a clear answer.
And that must hurt.
Yes.
Miss Common?
Yes, Your Honor.
This has been very difficult for your daughter.
Yes.
But you are certain Mr. Smith is her biological father?
I'm absolutely sure, Your Honor.
And growing up telling her this, but her saying she doesn't know, she's not certain.
Well, the only reason that she's not certain that Robert is her father is because he'd never been around. I mean, like, I told him when she was 1 year old that he was the father, and I gave him her address and phone number and told him how he can get in contact with her. But he never did. He got in contact with her once, and then that was it. He didn't get in contact with her no more.
And so, Mr. Smith, Miss Common has said you've had the information. You don't believe you're Miss Bowley-Jack's biological father?
No, ma'am. I don't believe so. She don't favor none of my kids. You know what I mean? So, and then the mama, she was out there living the life.
Hold up, baby. I was not out there living the life. When me and you were together, baby, it was just me and you. It was like summer love. It was just me and you. We was together. It was summer love, baby. It was me and you. It wasn't no, I was out there. And you know the reason I left you. I left you because you were the one out there hoeing around.
So what was the nature of the relationship? Tell me. Well, you said it was summer love, Miss Common.
Yeah, but girl, women kept coming up to me telling me that Rob was their man and wanted to fight me over Robert and stuff like that, so I left him. And I got with my other older boyfriend, and I told him that he was...
First of all...
And I told him that he was the father because he was much older and he was much responsible for taking care of her. But it is a possibility that he's the father too.
Oh, so you're saying right now that there is a possibility that someone else is your daughter's biological father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because at the time when it was summer love with Mr. Smith,
I was still going back to my ex.
After you got done with him because he was acting up.
Right.
When the summer love turned cold.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
and you went back to the ex.
And I went back to my ex, yes, because he was much older and much more responsible.
Yeah, but
do you remember this relationship, this summer love, Mr. Smith?
No, it wasn't like that. She lying. She lying.
What was it like? If I was who was I hoeing with? Name one man I was with.
I only hit it a few times.
Oh, okay.
For real, only a few times. Nah.
Well, how many times did we have sex?
Look, about 3 times.
I'm sorry.
About 3 times, that was it.
I just don't want to hear all that. Can we get back to
That was it. You know? She disappeared.
But it only takes once. You know that.
I understand.
And if you didn't use protection, that's how you make babies.
And we didn't use protection. Neither time, all the times we made love, we never used protection.
All right, so we know that you were having unprotected sex. So now we do understand that you two have now entered the zone at that point where you could create a child.
Yes.
So take me to the point you find out you're pregnant, Miss Common.
Okay, when I found out I was pregnant, I already knew in my heart that Rob was the father. And I didn't want to tell him because he was too childish and he was just crazy. So I moved back with my family members, and my family members helped me raise Lorraine.
And so is it your testimony you never told him about your daughter?
When she was first born, I never told him until she was like a year old.
What happened? How did you get in contact with him?
Well, I went back over to my old hood where he lives at, and I went over there to see a friend, and I ran right into him, and I told him, like, you got a baby. I just told him, you got a baby. And he was like, what? Who is she? I mean, what is her name? And how she look? And who is she with? And stuff like that. And he was acting like he was so excited about the baby. That's how come I don't understand why he's knuckling up now.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Were you excited when you found out, Mr. Smith? Do you remember this conversation?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Lorraine, you do?
Yeah.
And Lorraine was 1. So then what did you do to pursue a relationship with your daughter, or did you do anything?
I didn't, Your Honor.
Even though you acted happy about it?
Yes.
So why didn't you ever show up?
Because he was too busy out there horning around, having partying and horning around.
I was doing my thing. I was doing my thing. I ain't gonna lie. I was doing my thing.
And so, Ms. Boley,
man,
I know you was.
Ms. Boley-Jack, when you hear this conversation, the fact that this man who your mom says is your biological father was excited to hear about you, but never ever came to see you.
Your Honor, I spoke with him once when I was 12. He called the phone. He told me that he was my father. So it's surprising today that he does not have any recollection or anything. But when I spoke to him when I was 12, he told me he was my father. He gave me a phone number that I can contact him back on. 2 days later, I tried to contact him. The phone was disconnected. So everything that's going on today is just like, it's so many inconsistent stories from both parties.
And so, Ms. Boley-Jack, I want you to look at Mr. Smith and I want you to tell him what it felt like waiting 12 years to get a call and then after that, calling 2 days later and that number being disconnected.
It was a horrible feeling. No child should ever have to not know who their father is, and then when you do call, you basically sent me off. You gave me a number that was disconnected that I could not contact you back on, and then I never heard from you again until I took initiative to find you. You never took initiative to look for me, to look for my mom, even in that matter. You didn't do anything.
And how did that make you feel?
Hurt, angry, disgusted.
And Mr. Smith, when you hear Ms. Boley-Jack, when you hear Lorraine describe what it felt like as a child, how does it make you feel to hear that?
It really hurts me. It really hurts me, you know?
Why did you disappear? Why? You had opportunity. She came to find you, to tell you. At 1, that would have been before Lorraine could remember all of this. Why? Why did you disappear?
It was, Your Honor, it's the life I was living out there, you know? I wasn't ready to step up to the plate and, and have any kids.
Did you think some years? I mean, you had to think about her if you called her at 12 years old. What made you call that
Your Honor,
day?
I think he always had her in her mind because anytime I run into him, where my daughter at? You know, where she at? What she doing? That's how I don't understand why he gonna try to sit up here now and say, well, she was a hoe. She ain't my daughter. No, don't sit up there and don't try to throw me under the bus. Because I wasn't in her life either, Your Honor. So I didn't have a relationship with her. So she didn't have her mother or her father in her life. And, you know, years down the line, the Lord delivered me. He delivered me off of drugs. I went to treatment and stuff like that. And I've been in her life ever since, and I helped her raise her kids.
Amen. Yeah. It's almost 30 years. So after the phone call at 12 years old, you promise her, I guess you're gonna keep in touch, and then the number disconnected.
I was messed up too.
And so did you ever really doubt it, or were you just not ready? Which one?
I had doubts, both.
And why did you have doubts?
Because he met me a little while down the line, and when he met me, I was in my addiction. And
but Ms. Common, you did admit, though, there was one other man, which was your ex.
Yes.
Was the time you went back with your ex anywhere near the window of conception?
Okay, so like when I left Robert and I went back to my ex, I had sex with him the same day I went back with him. And I didn't find out I was pregnant until a month later after that. But I had sex with both of them on the same day.
Okay, so that is what a paternity issue is made of.
That's why I said I don't know for sure if it's really Rob or...
And so how did you just decide it was Mr. Smith?
Well, because she looks exactly like his family members. She looked exactly like him.
What about my other kids? I got other kids.
I know you got other kids by other mothers. I'm saying who she looked like. She looked just like your family members. You even admitted it yourself.
And so the truth is you didn't know for sure because you had sex with two different men in the same day. Eventually, you really started to observe the calendar.
Yes.
To figure out, okay, let's look at this window of conception.
Yes.
So this is the calendar you submitted to the court. You said July is when you believe you conceived, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And that's when you were with Mr. Smith, but you also admit you were sexually active with your ex.
Yes.
So it is around the window of conception.
Yes.
And so Lorraine was born April 21st. And so if you do the calculation and you count back, the window of conception lines up, but unfortunately would point at two different men, your ex and Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Now it makes more sense to me why you were motivated as well to disappear. Truth is, you didn't know.
I didn't know, no.
Did you tell the ex that he was the father and that you were pregnant?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You did?
Yes, I did.
So did he take care of Lorraine?
Yes, he did when she was a baby. Yes, he did. He went to the hospital with me. You know, he was there for her.
So, Lorraine, do you have a relationship with the other man?
No. To my remembrance, I've never had a relationship with him. I don't remember anything from a baby, so.
Do you have a relationship with Mr. Smith now?
We talk, and he's been to my church with me.
Does he accept you as his daughter, or is there still a feeling of limbo?
I believe between both of us, there's still a feeling of limbo.
What are your hopes?
My hopes is that she actually knows what she's talking about, that he is the father. But more so, my hopes is just for the truth to come out. That's it. I just want to know, not even for me, because at this point, I'm grown. I don't need anything from a father, but I would love my kids to have their grandfather like they have their grandmother, so.
And she still need her dad. Even though she's saying she's grown, I still feel like she still reaches out like she really need her dad in her life.
What are your hopes, Mr. Smith?
I am her father, and then so I can get to know my grandbabies.
Well, let's not wait any longer to get the results. Jerome, I'm ready. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Common versus Smith, when it comes to 29-year-old Lorraine Bolijak, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Smith, you are not the father. I'm very sorry. Very, very sorry, Lorraine. I was hoping to be able to give you the closure you need and deserve. Ms. Common, I have to ask you, does that mean your daughter's father is your ex-boyfriend, or is there someone else?
No, there's no one else. It was just them two, So he's definitely the father.
So do you know where he is?
Yes, I know where he is. I'm gonna call him and let him know.
Also, Ms. Common, if there is somebody else, your testimony did change in this courtroom. This is the point in time where you call up the strength to just tell the truth. And what I will say is you've overcome so much when you talk about a life of addiction and the way that you are there now for your grandchildren. I need you to use that same strength to be that mother for your daughter. Ms. Cates, you opened your case today because a white lie you told resulted in the defendant denying your 2-year-old son, Messiah. You say you know the defendant is a good man, but he'll be a better father once the results are revealed. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. G, you say that the only reason the plaintiff is pinning the baby on you is because she knows you are a stand-up guy. However, in the case of Messiah's paternity, you will take a seat because you know you are not his father and you claim to know who is. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you are joined by your sister today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Cates, I want to start with you. The defendant says he knows who your child's father is. Do you?
Yes, I do. And it's him, Kevin.
It ain't me.
So take me to the night you met Mr. G.
Okay. I was at the bar. We met through a mutual friend, and we just hit it off. When I seen him, I just thought that he was the most handsomest guy I ever seen. I don't know this word, but.
And so how soon after you met at the club did you start a sexual relationship?
That same night.
Oh, okay. So did you start to develop feelings for her?
Of course. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. I fool with her. You know what I'm saying? She cool people. You know what I'm saying? But after I started seeing the signs, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, cause them signs wasn't there at first. Like little text messages. She, you know what I'm saying? She see text messages in her phone or whatever,
you have
whatever.
Text messages in your phone too. Like girls be calling you too. Don't do that. Like
I'm
you
about to be
well
calling
known.
you,
You
bro.
well known where we from, and girls be all over you. Come on.
Yeah, that's why
don't
you
do
trying to
that.
pin that baby on me because I'm popping with this music stuff.
All right.
Oh.
All right, Kevin.
I'm hood famous.
All right,
You
whatever.
feel me? Like everybody in my city know me. You know what I'm saying?
You say you hood famous.
Yeah, and she just want a piece of that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why you
Something
think
she
she's
ain't
trying to pin the baby on you.
Yeah.
Because you
Yes,
hood
yes, ma'am.
famous.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you say you met her and you
Whatever,
say
Kevin.
you were getting to know her and you really liked her.
Yeah, I really liked it. We vibe, you know what I'm saying? We click. It was like I say, it was here. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And so you thought that she was feeling you the way you were feeling her and you all had a connection, which meant you all weren't with other people.
Yes, correct.
And then you say you start to see signs.
Yes. Like, it was like, we'll be kicking it, but then, you know, phone start ringing, and I just keep seeing this, and I'm like, yo, why you ain't, you know what I'm saying, getting your phone? Because it's nothing, it's nobody. I want your undivided, you got my undivided attention, I want yours type, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like right after she say that, she get up and take out to the bathroom with her phone. You know
Oh.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we all know that little rhythm,
Yeah, you feel me? That's old.
right?
We don't do that no more.
So you started to suspect that she was with somebody else.
Yeah, plus sis told me that, you know what I'm saying, she be in the club turned. Like,
Your sister saw her with other men too?
Yes.
What did you see, Miss Burns?
And she'll be in the club with this guy, that guy, and it'd be too close for comfort. You're not finna be all in this guy every time I turn around, all in his face. It was more than just dancing and all the extra. It was more than
No,
that.
how you weren't there, so hush.
It was
no,
more than that, Your Honor.
that's not what happened. And if I'm at the club, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna socialize because that's what you do at the club. I'm not gonna stand and hold up the wall. I don't do that.
Wow,
I'm a
but
blunt
You
person.
all up on them, all
I'm not all
like
up
this, and all
on
hugging them. That's too
no,
close
sis,
to comfort.
no,
you
sis.
you
sis.
just met this guy, so you no.
no,
I thought it was
sis.
dancing and you in the club.
So you felt like, Miss Burns, my brother's girlfriend is doing too much.
Too much.
And it doesn't look like a woman who's committed to my brother.
Okay, but when he goes to the club, oh, he's turned. So I don't understand. Like I said, girls be all up in his face, be all up on him and everything.
He not the one pinning the baby on nobody.
bit fat.
I don't need to look. All right.
So,
Yeah, I got
Miss
this.
Burns,
Whatever.
did you ever see Miss Cates out with any other man
Several times.
other than the club?
Plenty of times.
Here we go.
What did you
One
see?
time I went to the mall, she's sitting in the food court, no family member. So what you doing with this guy in the food court? Too close to comfort.
Who's the guy at the food court?
First off, it was a coworker. I can't eat no food with a coworker at the mall. Like, really? Like, you ODing right now. I can understand if we hugged up or something. Like, I can have male friends. I'm grown.
Sit across from each other, not side by side.
Side by side on the same side of the table.
He was your coworker?
Kevin.
Oh my God.
So, Ms. Cates, are you denying you were dating other men at the time? Are you denying it, or are you just admitting it?
I was seeing him and someone else at the same time.
Well, that's the white lie then.
Yeah, that's the white lie. I'm not denying that I was in a relationship with someone else and it was just that one person, but all this other me in the club flirting with this guy at the mall, hugged up with this guy, all of that, nah, that's a negative.
I ain't blind and I don't wear glasses.
All right.
So you were seeing somebody else?
I was in a relationship before I met him, and then I met him and I had to have him. Like, I just was attracted to him and I had to have him. And then the relationship I was in, I didn't really want to be in that relationship anymore. So that was the dilemma I had, so.
And so you're admitting in court today that you were having sex with two different men?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's what makes paternity doubts. So, Mr. G, Ms. Kate says she knows without a shadow of a doubt that you are her child's father. However, she says she was intimate with somebody else. Is that who you think her child's father is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
So wait, I want to understand this. So how did you get away with sleeping with two men at the same time? How did you keep each of them?
Okay, I stayed 2 hours away from him. So that's how that happened. I guess I had the ball in my court where it was a 2-hour drive, so it's not like you had to call me before you come, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
So the ball in your court, why you can't shoot?
What do you mean by that? You say if the ball's
I don't even know what he mean by that.
Because really, she trying to pin this baby on me.
I don't need to pin no baby on you. All right.
Shooting the wrong shot. You feel me? Like, I know that baby ain't mine. That baby don't look like me. You feel me? Then she messing around with all these dudes and all this
coworkers. All these dudes? I won't mess with my coworker. We went to go eat.
So, Ms. Cates, you admit, though, that there was another man. So why is it you are so certain Mr. G is the biological father?
I remember the night he made the baby. Like, I remember that night.
What happened that night? You say you remember the night.
Yes.
What happened?
He, he's a local artist, so he took me to a party that, at the studio where they threw like a pool party, and we had fun that night. We went out, even after we partied there, we went club hopping, and then it went down. The whole night. Like, that's when my baby was conceived.
And you know that because?
I know it in my heart. Like, I know the time, and like, I'm just 100% sure. Like, I don't even know what to say to tell you.
Were you also still intimate with the other guy you were with?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's talking to me. She's not talking to you.
But you was, though. So keep it G.
Before that night, yes. But once that night hit, I wasn't talking to the other guy.
Man, she lying like that.
Were you using protection with the other guy?
Yes.
Is you serious?
And why do you seem so sure she's lying, Mr. G?
If we wasn't messing around with a condom, I know she wasn't messing with him with no condom. Yeah.
So you said you two weren't using condoms. Why would she be using them with the other guy?
Correct. That don't even add up.
Good question.
Don't even add up. You meet a person that you really don't even know. You let them smash the first night. No condom, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? But this other
what
dude.
Would be
though,
a difference?
You feel me? Like what's different? What's different from me and him?
Take me to the day you found out you were pregnant.
I was getting a regular checkup. I was at the hospital and they was like, hey, you pregnant? I'm like, oh, I was shocked too. So I knew I was I got in contact with him. He was away at the time. And I told him, and he was just like, he wasn't really too excited, but he didn't deny it either. He was just like, well, he said, I know it's a possibility that it ain't mine.
You didn't contact the other guys, did you?
I'm not.
So wait, but that is a fair question. When you found out you were pregnant, you contacted Mr. G. Did you tell the other guy?
No, I didn't tell the other guy because he's the daddy. I didn't feel like I needed to tell the other guy. The other guy is non-existent right now.
Because once you had the magical fun night, you never slept with the other guy again.
Right.
Man, she lying.
You was there.
No way. There's just no way.
So Messiah's 2 years old now. What kind of relationship do you have with him, Mr. G?
I mean, it's all right relationship. Sometimes it's like, we here, you know what I'm saying? But most of the times it just be like, I'm like, Saya, what's up? And he just be like, that's the type of looks he give me sometimes.
He's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
baby.
Well, he probably, though, he
He's just a child.
senses. No, he senses Mr.
That
G's
ain't the daddy.
No,
what
he
it is.
senses.
This is
No,
not
he
genuine.
senses
That's
your
what it is.
hesitation towards
It ain't
him.
no
That's
hesitation
right.
towards him.
So you don't have a hesitation.
For what?
So you think that you treat him just like he's your own son?
No.
Of course.
No.
His mother's saying that is
No,
not the
he
case.
does not. When I go to his family member's house, they got pictures of his other son. But they don't have pictures of mine. Social media, nothing. So it's
How does
not.
that make you feel when you see your child left out like that?
It hurts. It hurts. I mean, I understand it because they got doubts, but it hurts at the same time. That's why I'm here today, so we can clear the air and move on with our
How we
lives. I just
supposed
want to get
accept
this
something
over
that's not
with.
ours? We don't know if he ours.
Okay, but we about to find this out, sis.
Well, I'm be glad when we do. I got 13 nieces and nephews. So as far as me accepting something that's not mine, I'm not finna do. My brother's a
Big
good
fact.
man. To pin something on him, that's not right. So until we find out, I'm not going to accept him.
Does Messiah call you daddy?
I mean, nah, not really sometimes.
Yeah, he do.
Sometimes. You can't listen to nothing she talking about. I'm telling you.
No, we can't listen to nothing
Trust
you're talking about.
She be lying. She's a compulsive liar.
Let's
You know what I'm
hurry up and
saying?
get this-
Are you guys
That's-
still
no.
together now? Are you two still dating, sleeping together now?
No,
No
but
way.
I want, you know what I'm saying? I want a family, and I want to deal with him. You know, I still have feelings for him, and I
Okay.
still
Lie to me
feel,
again.
Other guys
I
too.
still feel the same way I felt, you know, when I seen him that day at the club. Like, it's still there.
So, Mr. G, if Messiah is your biological son, do you want to be in a relationship with Miss Cates? Do you want to continue trying to build a relationship?
I'm gonna keep it all the way real.
Please do.
If Messiah my son, then I want him to have his mother and his father there. So we gonna have to do something. You know what I'm saying? Even if we gotta, you know what I'm saying, take little parenting classes or whatever's gonna take, you know what I'm saying, to make this thing work, you know what I'm saying? It's for my boy, I got to. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man at the end of the day.
I love that you said parenting class.
Right.
I do.
What?
I really do, because there's nothing wrong with saying maybe we need a little help and a little instruction, figure out how to do this and do it right. Did you have your father in your life?
I didn't, and I don't want the same for him.
And when you think about not having your father in your life,
It hurt me. Hopeless. I ain't had nobody. That's how I felt. Like when I needed a male figure, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't had him. And I always think like, dang, you know what I'm saying? What I do? You feel me? Like, what did I do to not have my father there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I gotta feel like this? Why I gotta feel so left out? You know what I'm saying? So I can't have him like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like our bond is not there. Like, I just gotta know. I just gotta figure out, I just gotta know what's going on. It just be messing with me. I really gotta know what's real, what's what. You know what I'm saying? And get it on out the way, and get it behind me. But if this baby ain't mine, it's over for you. For real though. If he ain't mine, it's over.
We here for my son, so I'm just ready to get this over with, can clear the air and move on.
I think we're ready to get the results.
All right.
Jerome? These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Kate versus G, when it comes to 2-year-old Messiah Cates, it has been determined by this court. Mr. G, you are not the father.
Told you so.
I'm sorry, Mr. G. I'm very sorry. I can see that hurt to hear. Can you tell the court what you're feeling in this moment?
Betrayed. Disloyalty. I just feel like, dang, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good dude, man. I don't deserve that. You feel me? He don't deserve that either, though. But, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We can't rewind it. You feel me? I just move forward. I'm done with her, though. I'ma still be a father to him, though, regardless. I still feel he mine.